Hello, and welcome along to Elsewhither. The Tales of the Unchained, episode 23. Last episode, we were in a cave. Why were we in a cave?
Treasure.
Fucked up some fish people.
We fucked up some fish people. That we did. Well, we as a collective word, maybe I did not fuck up any fish people. My fish people got fucked up. But yeah, you guys did pretty well. And you got through the treasure cove. Did we get anything exciting from the treasure cove?
You got a few things.
Yeah.
Slipstone climbing, spider climbing.
Yeah, slippery.
Yeah.
Big one.
I'm pretty sure
Got a
Boxxo just
crab.
said socks of spider climbing, didn't you?
Are they socks?
Oh, okay. I thought you said socks. I was like, maybe he didn't want to mix them with his other shoes.
I don't have shoes. I just have
You had
multiple,
boots of climbing, but you
Yeah,
discarded
I just-
those in favor. Yes.
I just have multiple anklets.
We got a very cool interdimensional, or not interdimensional, it's just a dimensional fishing rod.
Yes, I was
Yes.
just gonna say I think we go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a crab claw quarterstaff, a bone whip, a flame breather staff,
I was looking for a very
Oh,
specific
yeah.
piece of loot, though.
a skulless pack, a vial of acid, thieves' tools, boots of climbing,
Got a
brutal.
really cool magic book that talks to me.
A
now.
book that talks.
Yeah,
There we go.
yes.
That's what I was looking for. I understand you probably got lots of cool things, but specifically you got a book that talks. And what was the nature of this book?
It was, I think it's Elven, no?
No details given on that, but you did know it was buried beneath the Academy of Shah.
That's right.
Now, those of you
Rude.
with some Beldanian knowledge might know that once upon a time 'twas moon elves and wild elves that walked the lands of Beldania. He didn't state exactly how far back, so you don't know if it was all the way back in those times, or if there was no direct race implemented. Though he was with the fishes for at least 3 generations. Yeah.
Long time.
The book took on
What
the
is his
nature that
name
would
again?
please you most. There is no specific name. The book is
just call him
on
book.
D&D Beyond.
The Amorphous Compendium.
Yes, that is how he identifies as the Amorphous Compendium
Okay.
of what?
Aptitude.
Of aptitude. There you go. He will attempt to give you aptitude. Who knows if he will succeed?
ACA.
Lovely.
Akka.
Akka.
Oh, I see. The Amorphous
ACA?
Compendium of Aptitude. Yeah, you can call him Akka if you want. That would be a lot easier than me trying to remember that fucking name. The Amorphous... Yeah, Akka. Why not? But regardless, you've got a magic talking book. And you had left our good friend Eileen with the carriage up at the top of the hills, and I'm assuming that you will go up there and... I think actually we did go up there and
Yes, we
get
did
to
go
a
up.
camp and...
Yep.
We ended at camp. We had a bit of a talk.
Long
and we had
rested.
nice lovely meal prepared for us by Corrie,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
Made all sorts of. No, we learned Eileen's fish stew recipe.
yes, that's right.
we did.
'cause
And
I
what did the
bought
fish
a
stew recipe... What did it grant you?
It's like,
Was a specific benefit to fish stew? No? It is a restorative, so instead of giving you an increase to max, it restores hit points. So a good meal to have sort of at lunchtime after one cave and before the next.
Okay.
Yes, fish stew. I think it's a 3d8 plus plus anything over 14 on your cooking check of healing. Big heal, but obviously it takes long enough to prepare that you might as well short rest at the same time.
Yep.
Cool.
Mhm.
And then we did a bit of alchemy, so we're restocked on our healing potions.
oh yeah, that's right.
And did those go in the group loot tracker once you'd made them?
Yes.
Where
Mhm.
we put them? Fantastic, because I didn't. see
Yeah, up the
those.
top.
Oh yeah. Healing potions, 4 greater, 4 common. Marvelous. All right, and then we will begin the following morning, where I think Corrie will disappear. Perhaps might need to reappear. There we go. Because you are not on the morning page, you are only on the evening page.
I was like, wow, you just disappeared me from the campaign. Okay,
No,
cool.
just from this. Oh, why is there so much toothy going on?
Is it? Not for me.
Toothy is undeletable. I must refresh. I've just got like 6 toothies all the way around the map with different yellow circles and all sorts else going on besides. Yeah.
You don't want that many of me.
Sun comes up. You can all hit the long rest button. And yeah, we're camping a little way along the road from Maztu towards the village of Shumar. Or a village, town, village. Big village, small town, however you want to see it. Of Shumar. Yeah, hand over to you. Or not, maybe? Hello?
Sorry, I'm just blowing my nose.
Good morning.
Mine was involuntarily blowing itself.
Shumar, do we have business in Shumar, or are we just using it as a sort of stopover?
I believe you are on your way to the village afterwards. Here, I'll put you on the map.
Yeah,
Of the town afterwards. I think you're dropping her off at Metella.
That's right.
So it just makes sense to continue along the way. Where's our party token gone? Oh, get that. There you go. So that's where we currently are.
That's right. I mean,
It's a 45-mile journey, so probably 2 days. Anybody know how far a carriage travels in a day?
Nah.
no, we'd have to look that up.
I never know with those things. I would imagine that 25 to 30 miles sounds about right to me for a day, but I have just pulled that figure completely out my arse, so do tell me if it's completely incorrect.
Well, I mean, I think Pietro would likely just be sitting there sort of like poring over his books and, you know, transferring spells with what little ink he has left from his old spell book to this new talking
How many
spell
bottles
book.
of ink have you got?
I think I only have. I think I may be like fresh out of ink. Like after I record most of these spells, I may have like one use of it left.
Have I given you the ink amounts?
Yeah. So you said that per bottle of ink there are 10. So it's 10 charges. I forgot how it works.
10 charges per bottle.
Per bottle, and then 1 charge is for a level 1 spell slot,
it's a charge per level
charges.
of spell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I honestly probably don't even have enough to like record all of the spells over from the old book to the new book.
Yeah. Right.
So as you're recording over here, Corrie will kind of nervously make his way towards you. Excuse me, Pietro?
Yes, Corrie.
I see that your bottles of ink are running low, and I carry these with me, but I don't have much use for them. Would you need some more? And I've got another 2 bottles of ink if you want them.
You don't write.
I will keep one for myself. I like to have it on hand, but I collect things in my travels, and I seem to have a few extra here. If you would have use for them.
Of course, this is very kind.
Just out of curiosity, Corrie, what do you think the original owner of the ink is currently has got in their pockets? They just got some patterned stones.
Maybe like a fish ended up, on the countertop where the ink was, as you were. Just kind of somebody who had a really fine desk and wasn't doing a whole lot, and the little ink bottle stumbled into my pouch. But yeah, if you want to add 3 or add 2, I'll remove 2 from mine.
Oh, I will. Lord.
Cool.
Well, Pietro is even more excited now because he gets to write more.
And you can do this in the carriage, I guess, if we are on the road again.
Oh, I thought we were just
Would
sort
you
of.
be doing
I
that?
thought
Or
we
would
sort
you
of
be,
just.
is this a breakfast activity more?
I thought, yeah, this was just sort of
Okay.
moving around the camp in the morning, sort of just like preparing myself for the day, trying to figure stuff out.
Rachel?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I thought you were waving at
Sounds
me.
good to me.
Well, because several times I said something, and even when I was unmuted, and I think nobody heard me, and I was checking.
Oh,
my
no.
mic was showing up as actually loaded.
now we
Now.
can hear you.
Yeah.
But we can hear. I didn't hear. You didn't say anything from.
No, this is the
You've been
first thing I've
quiet
heard
for a
from
bit.
you since the
Yeah.
session started.
It's still not quite registering this normal way, but if it's working, it's working.
Cool. Corrie, what's for breakfast post the
Ooh, yeah. So let me look through my ingredients that I've got here on hand. We definitely need to use those before they go bad. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna do a quiche today, because we've got some eggs and while
For an early
lovely and fresh, we're going to want to use those before I accidentally break them or they go bad in the back of the cart and provide us with a terrible smell. So we'll do some eggs, some fresh veggies, a little bit of garlic, and some potatoes.
Ooh, I love that. Go ahead and give me a cooking check.
Cool.
Like a veggie omelet.
21.
Like a vegetable quiche.
Oh, quiche. I see.
So yeah, 21 was the result of that.
Nice.
21.
You can all go ahead and add 7 to your maximum hit points today. Right. What is your cookery skill at?
Still
under
I've got
4,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooking is 3.
Right. Okay. The thresholds change as you level up, so. But,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. Yeah, fantastic. 7 max HP, and as you all sit around eating your quiche, Eileen will comment that it is very, very good. Very much enjoying it.
In the interest of us. Sorry.
Oh, just wanted to... Hey, Boxxo. You know how you can, talk to us in our heads?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the similar thing is happening with Pietro in the book? You think it's like a connection like that?
I mean, I don't know what kind of abilities books can have. Maybe he's just crazy.
I don't think so. I mean, books could. Is it possible to have for books to have all kinds of? I mean, I didn't know about books before I even came to Mazrea, so this is all new to me. But do you think maybe you could tune into the book? You know what I mean? Because you can tune into us. Do you think you could tune into Pietro while he's listening to the book and then pick up on what the book says? I just really want to know what that book says.
I can't read people's minds. I don't think my powers work like that.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I was just curious.
Was this a private conversation or?
This is a very hushed conversation.
Okay.
I don't want you to know. whether you listened, whether you picked up on it or not is up to you. I'm totally if you're like
No,
you know.
Pietro has a fucking terrible perception score, I think.
Okay.
And he's got his
yeah,
head buried in his book that isn't talking back.
Yeah.
I like to think that as you write in the book that can talk, it stays
I would
very,
just
very
think-
quight. It's feeling a little awkward.
I'm jabbing at him with a pen
for
constantly,
conversation.
yeah,
You're not seeing something ooh sounds, You'll get the occasional wry comment, sort of, that's a useful spell. And then if you write in sort of, what were you writing in right now?
Which spell was I writing in?
Yeah, which spells? What spell are you writing in?
Well, I literally, let's say sending, because I just saw that I had a spell scroll of sending that we received at some point.
You don't have friends, do you?
No.
And who on earth are you going to send him?
I don't know. You never know, man.
Save it for a rainy day, I guess.
Exactly.
And you'll get
You never
lots and lots of comments like that as you write each spell scroll in sort of Misty Step. He'll sort of, oh, don't forget to take me along. And lots of just constant rapport comments. And of course, you are speaking out loud back to it, which just,
Of course.
Totally goes into Boxxo's
Probably
of you guys
spurs on
being
that
crazy. I really just want to go really far backwards, so 1 second. Do you remember you left the village of Maz 2?
Mm-hmm.
I've just realized I never uploaded the image to Roll20, so you guys have probably never seen what it looked like. So just while I remember, this is Maz 2.
Oh, well.
Great little place. I saw the art and thought, that art was actually worth having. So yeah, there you go. That's that church that. That's that church that.
Yeah.
Vel'zekiss teleported himself into and got random treatment mid-combat. Yeah, but I just thought I'd bring that up while I remembered.
What do you write on slabs? Is that why you don't have books?
Huh?
You said that you don't have books where you're from.
No.
How do you record things?
We tell stories.
So everything you could be taught could be a lie.
Well, unless everyone of my, unless every one of my tribe, and then the surrounding tribes, and then their surrounding tribes, and then their surrounding tribes all share the same lie, and it remains consistent outside of each other's lies, then yeah, it could be lying. But I don't think that's the point of it anyway. Even if it is a lie, there's still merit and knowledge within those lies. So I think that's part of. I think you're missing part of the point there, Boxxo. Not to be rude.
Oh, what's the point?
The point is the stories and our history and our culture is there to just to teach and learn from, from previous generations.
So if a warrior claims that he's I don't know, like killed a great beast, but actually he's lying, what's the merit in that lie?
Well, that's probably not going to be a story that's told, because there's no real lesson in that story. It might get told. Sorry to interject there, but it might get told around it might get told at some sort of just around the fire or something like that. But it's not something that, like, when we get together at a corroboree, or the other thing which I'm looking at right now, I forgot the name of.
Tuesday just whips out his laptop.
Just give me a sec. There's a second. What is it called? A Tanderum, or at a Tanderum. Then the story, that's when the story's about the land and how we sort of live in harmony with the land, and where we come from, and sort of what's happened to the land over the years. That's the stories we share.
Boxxo, this isn't massively different, I would guess, to the folklore that you would have been taught as a kid, because you wouldn't have been taught from books. Your parents would have taught you, of the past and stuff from voice, from speech.
Word of mouth, yeah.
Okay,
Just a thought.
sure. But don't because people will not always remember all the details when the stories change over time.
No. The point is that the stories are told so often that the traditional keepers of the stories memorize them. That's the point. If they do change a bit over time, so long as the knowledge behind the story is maintained, doesn't matter too much if it changes slightly. But there's a big importance on the way of traditional story keeping.
Can you tell me a story?
Yeah. So once upon a time, I don't know how long ago it is because I'm not a keeper of the stories. But anyway, a while ago, a long while ago, the great emu of the sky, of the night sky specifically, and the rainbow serpent had a fight, and one of the eyes of the great emu of the night sky fell out of the sky and landed in the sea, and it created an island. And this island was eventually swallowed up by the seas and now lies at the bottom. And I forgot a bunch of the rest of the story, but the point is that mistakes can happen. I remember the lessons. The lessons are the most important part. So the most important parts are mistakes can happen. We can come to a disagreement. We can even come to a fight between each other. But what's important is that over time, things just wash away, and emotions wash away, and we can find it you can find it within each other to forgive each other and to maintain harmony once again.
I'm not sure how you got to the end of that story to that conclusion. So
there's a whole bunch I'm missing. I'm sorry.
If you remember, let me know, because
Pietro will walk over.
I did hear more.
Pietro will walk over to Boxxo because he has, of course, been recording this story on a piece of parchment as soon as Toothy started telling it, and he will hand it to you and say, "There, for you to remember." Though I don't think you'll learn very much.
Just the lesson, though. I think just the other
no,
part.
No, it's just the story. It's just the story, not the lesson. Just the story. Like the 3-4 lines of the story.
During this time, Corrie is going to be casting his magnificent feast so that everybody has a pie for the road.
Thank you.
It is 5 you can create, right? It's just the 1 each, okay. Eileen will look on wistfully. To accept that she doesn't need a pie, because she's not going to be fighting their combat pies, yeah. She doesn't want to be in combat, so she'll accept the sacrifice.
The morning she grows late. Perhaps we should get a move on.
Oh, okay.
We have much ground to cover.
You sort of all... just realised we've had the theme tune on for about 8 hours, sorry.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, as you head along the coastline by the sea, for a while your path is going to take you sort of right along the cliff edge. And this path is quite difficult going because it goes sort of right down all the way to beach level and then all the way back up to cliff level and sort of winds up and down depending on people going down to the beaches and stuff. There's a lot of the time you'll pass steps down to the beach or pathways that go down to the beach, but sometimes this wider path is going to go all the way down, all the way up. Of course, you are forced into following the wider path because you have your very ostentatious carriage. That is this campaign, right? I think I ask it every time. Yes, okay. You have paired horses and everything. Good. Okay, cool. I'm not going mad. Yeah, and
Vel'zekiss steers the carriage. I'm pretty sure.
And for the
she's learning. Yeah.
For the first little bit, it's a nice peaceful journey. Can I take a D100, please, from Rico?
About an 8.
8, eh? Oh, yeah. Okay. As you are traveling on the road, you see a small gnome. He's on the roadside, standing sort of in the middle of the road, staring at... So if you imagine you've got a cliff bit... I think, in fact, you guys are on a picture, aren't you? Let me see if this is helpful. Yes, it is. Fantastic. So if you imagine you've got a little bit of cliff, and then a path, and then another bit of cliff. And he's standing in the middle of the road, staring at the cliffside. Very intent.
He's by himself, just as a little gnome?
Middle of the road.
So as we're approaching, I'll call out to him. Hello there. Are you quite well?
He does not respond.
I said hello? Oh dear. He doesn't seem to respond to us. He might be in trouble?
Stand aside, man. If I have to teleport you out of the way, someone might die later today because I've spent a spell.
Did you say that quite loudly, Vel'zekiss?
Yes.
Okay, let me give you a perception check. Nothing. He doesn't respond.
Maybe he just doesn't want to talk to strangers.
Why don't you send him a message?
Can anyone
You could
do
not
that?
ignore.
You mean-
Can't Boxxo?
No.
Oh, it has to be a
I
friend?
think Whispers is like a whole... Like, he sets it up, it lasts like 4 hours, right?
Well, sure, but I have like multiple uses of
Well,
it.
I do have a rod of thought projection.
Okay.
I could just
Don't have
talk
to
into
be
this
friends,
guy's
though.
head. I don't...
Yeah, Boxxo can't just speak into people's minds at will. That's a Kalish star thing, I think, not a
I
Soulknife
see.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Are you projecting thoughts?
I don't know that I want to waste my rod of thought.
Oh, does it have
projection.
charges? It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, actually,
Is he like in the middle of the road, or is he
Bang
just
in the
like
middle of the
at the cliff?
Absolutely in the middle of the road.
I just walk
It's
over
just-
to him.
Yeah, let's just go up to it.
Yeah.
You jump down off the out the carriage, Boxxo, and walk on over. He sort of looks a bit glassy-eyed as he's staring at the wall. Give me an Arcana check, Boxxo.
16.
You've seen Pietro go a little like this sometimes. Maybe Vel'zekiss as well. When they are concentrating on a spell that requires their attention elsewhere. So, for example, Vel'zekiss might look like this moments before teleporting you to somewhere else. You know, his attention is clearly not on the thing that his eyes appear to be staring at.
Yeah, then I'll just put a hand very gently on his back.
Okay,
and I'll
he
just...
leaps about 3 foot into the air and then turns around. Oh, goodness me! I'm sorry. Oh, good. Well, a pleasure. And Rico. He bows once and then bows twice. And, I think I lost track. I'm so sorry. I was so deep in the focusing of my spellcasting. I must have been obstructing the road. Was I obstructing the road? I'm so sorry. Was I obstructing the road? You must be. Well, where have you come from? Is that your carriage?
Yes.
Ah! Oh,
You
there's
are-
lots of
you
you.
are-
Oh, I'm so sorry. I must have been obstructing the road. I was concentrating on my spellcasting. I was deep in thought and deep in thought. I should get out the way. And he sort of shuffles to the side. Roken, pleasure to meet you. And you as well, and you as well. And oh, it's a lovely carriage you've got there. Must be hell on these cliffside roads. Can I help you? Or was I just in your way?
What were you
The
doing?
latter. But, yeah, so what spell? What were you casting?
Ah, well, I was deep in the throes of a clairvoyance spell, you see, and I was looking through. There are some holes in these cliffs, quite wonderful, little tiny holes. Only small creatures could get in there, but inside these cliffs, there were some fascinating stones and rocks and wonderful minerals and all sorts else. If only we could find a way in without having to bury big holes and ruin the beautiful structure of nature, we might be able to extract some wonderful value from inside here. And I was just trying to think about whether there was some sort of magical spell I could find that I could summon a creature inside that could extract the crystals and the rocks and the minerals and bring them up to these holes that these little animals make. They're like worms, I think, perhaps tunnel worms. They're about, 6 or 7 inches wide, and they bury little holes. You can see one just here, look. He'll point up, and another one down there, and just another one down there. Perhaps you could even fit a rabbit through it. Perhaps a druid that could shape change could go, and he will just go a million miles a minute.
Why not shrink yourself down?
There's no wonderful thought. I did think about that, but if you just have a look, hold on a second. And he pulls out a sort of spell book and he rifles through it, and then he'll go, and then suddenly he's about 2.5 foot tall, maybe 1.5 foot tall, as he shrinks himself from being a small to a tiny creature, but he's still way too large to fit through. I did hear once about a scroll that could turn me into gas, which could be incredibly helpful and perfectly plausible, but then I'd have to find a way of getting the things from inside out, and as a gaseous form, I don't think I could carry them. And so perhaps I was thinking a bag of holding, and then a mage hand, then I could mage hand the bag of holding through the gap, and then I could follow it with the gaseous form, but then I need 2 castings of gaseous form, and that's quite a lot. I'd need to read them directly from the scroll, because that's quite a complex spell, and not something I could memorize and cast twice a day. Certainly not with ease, and you were just
How large
passing
is the
by.
space inside?
Vast. It's the entire cliffside. I mean, perhaps 80 feet in height, and maybe 600 or 700 feet in length and breadth at various points, although there are many, many different rocks and patterns stopping it and obstructing it. You couldn't just put one big dragon in it. You'd have to, lots of little winding paths and such, but I believe these paths go all the way along the cliff's edge, perhaps from here to Mazdu and beyond.
But enough to stand in.
Oh, more
Doesn't
than,
stay-
of course.
Doesn't stay worm and rat-sized all the way through.
No, indeed, if I could cast a spell of teleportation while I was clairvoyancing you inside, then I could teleport to the place that I could see, and then I could collect all the minerals in the yes.
So it's close enough for that, you say?
Yes, indeed. This particular tunnel just here is about 15 foot in length. Problem is that if I lean down and peer through it, it seems to go around a corner and I can't see.
Well, how valuable do you say they are?
Well, there's all sorts of different things that could be extracted from inside, but the one particular thing of interest to me is the Viridian Crystal. The Viridian Crystal is a dark green crystal, sort of a hand size, fist size, most of them, though some of them are a little smaller. And these crystals are wonderful because, and you will know of these Beldania team as crystals that can hold a spell for just an hour or so, like a little delay. You can put the spell in it and then release it at a later time. A wonderful value to some mages. Each crystal would go for 5 or 6 silver pieces. But there must be hundreds in there. It would take weeks to extract them all, but you have brought me onto an excellent idea, and I do wonder, do you have a way of peering around corners?
Not directly, but we do have with these scrolls that you've all asked me to carry around. We could summon up a very small animal who could either do the work or could carry one of my bracelets inside, perhaps.
Do your bracelets collect crystals?
In a manner of
Very
speaking.
confused. Oh. I see it. I won't touch. Just. And he sort of looks from the other side. Oh. Some illusory magic here. It seems to be attuned to yourself. I can't detect the nature of it, but it's almost like it's paired.
Yes, I can see through.
Oh, look, there's the other one.
From one to the other.
Ah. Wonderful. But then you could, of course, only you could see, which would not enable me to
I could send someone in, or myself and someone else. Whatever we could carry, we could bring back out, or simply...
Could you put me inside? I'll make
I'm
camp there
thinking
for a
of putting
week.
you inside and leaving you there.
That would be wonderful. I have a scroll, you see, that would recall me home. So I could camp in there for a week, and I could extract many different things. I do have a small pouch which could hold a fair amount, and well, yes, after I could collect for a week or two, and then I could teleport myself home.
I suppose I have to come in with you to get...
I will pay you handsomely. Say, 5 gold pieces in this magical ring. He holds up a little iron ring. It's only a small magic, but it's interesting to me.
What does it do?
Well, roll me a D100 and I'll tell you.
He's going to pay you for being handsome?
No, he's going to pay him for teleporting him in.
Oh.
Hold me a second. What did you roll, Vel'zekiss?
I think it was a 54. Yeah, 54.
Look. Oh no! Hold on. Let's take off the very rare and legendary artifact, and then reroll. It was a ring of regeneration came up. I thought, no, that's not going to be happening. Okay, and it is.
Hey, Vel'zekiss.
Yes.
Who's Clay?
Was Clay?
Who's what?
Not Clay. Who's Clay?
I see. His spell, you mean?
What spell?
The clairvoyance spell, is that what you're referring to?
Oh. Okay.
It's sort of a lingual twist. He can see clearly at some distance. Clarity is sort of where it comes from.
Okay.
Wait till you meet Voyance.
You two are idiots. That's all I've got to say to you. The two of you are idiots. I'm glad you could fill the time. He will show you this simple ring. And look, it is even how I described it. Isn't that nice? And he will say, well, it's, you know, when something comes at you, you can briefly misdirect them. It is a ring of misdirection.
Oh, well. Suppose I could sell it.
It has 4 charges in it.
But you see, if I come in with you,
Sorry.
apparently there's all these gems and things that are valuable inside.
Well, of course, you can also carry as many of those away as you wish, but that would be my payment for you taking me in. 5 gold pieces in this ring.
How far inside is it?
As I said, that tunnel just there is 15 feet. 15 feet depth, I guess.
That's nothing at all.
How can you teleport him and you?
Thunderstep.
Ah! Yeah, that is a thing, right. Yeah.
Or separately, I could send him with, what you call it,
swap,
just do
yeah.
my own. Yeah.
This is,
If it's short enough for me, but yeah. Thunderstep was the thing I figured was the absolute solution to both of us and a greater distance.
Yep.
It might be less expenditure of resources to simply vortex warp him and metamagic myself in.
Sure.
If it's only 15.
I do have
And the tunnel
gaseous
is 15
form
feet, but
doing
goes
that.
round
I
corners.
don't know that.
So it's less than 15 feet in actual depth, if you will.
Sure. Yeah, I
just
mean,
out
I'll
of
have to,
curiosity,
like-
how many people have a way of getting through there? Is it just yourself and Pietro?
I do not have a way to get in there.
We're not allowed to smash through it. That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
Very much rather you didn't.
What's your way, Pietro?
Gaseous form.
Gaseous form.
Oh, right.
But could you cast that twice? You have enough resources for that.
Yes. Well, I have all my spells.
I thought it was a 4th level spell, Gaseous.
It's a 3rd level spell.
And at 5th level, you have two 5th level spell slots, or just one?
I have 2.
Yeah.
2 3rd level spell slots. I would basically expend both to get in and out.
Maybe. I think. What does gaseous form say? It's lasts an hour. Right? I can never remember exactly what the rules are with gaseous form. There's something about you can stop and start or something, right?
Let's see. Gaseous form. Up to an hour. In this form. It's just an hour.
Right, okay, but if you come out of it, you're out of it.
Yeah. Magic action to end the spell in itself. You think this job is worth doing?
Well, I sort of like the idea of rather easily solving something this man has been staring at for some time, but also it could be valuable. It's not so difficult.
I can join you then, if need be.
Perhaps I could simply yell out through one of these tubes to let you know whether it's worth another person coming in. Yeah.
What about if it's dangerous?
Then I'll just
I don't think there's any danger in that.
He's an escape artist. You'll be fine. This gnome, I'm not so sure.
Yes, if I have to get you out in a hurry, sir, that will cost you extra.
2 rings.
No, I've got a... I can look after myself.
All right. Well, I suppose
Do it!
I shall extract the newly acquired wand of scroll usage to instantly make a lizard. I mean, I feel like a lizard person should have a lizard familiar. Of the ones that are small enough to go through the hole, lizard feels the most appropriate. And then I shall have him put his bracelet in his beak. And also, why not watch through his eyes as he goes and tell him to check out his way into the hole and see what he sees.
Oh, that's interesting. You can just see through from his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just use those to teleport.
Depends whether you count that. We've specifically said that these count as a place you can see for teleportation purposes. I'm not sure. You'd have to make a ruling on whether the familiar does or not.
Oh, right. Yeah, I suppose that is true. Okay. You'll see this sort of beautiful cavern inside. There are lots of crystals and lights, minerals growing from the ceiling. You'll see sunlight sort of filtering in from small cracks in the walls. Yeah, it's. I do have a piece of art for it, but it's taking forever to load. So I will show you it when you get in there. But
yes,
for now, you can certainly see these crystals he's talking about. Little white sort of crystals that are sort of they almost look like hedgehogs.
Do they indeed look decently valuable? I do have jewelry skill if that helps.
From a jewel crafting perspective, maybe for some people interested in more sort of like cheap. But from a magical perspective, if indeed these crystals can hold spells temporarily, there would certainly be some worth to them.
Interesting stuff. Good enough. All right, I'm convinced there's something in there. If you give me my gold and the ring, I'll send you in.
And he hands you 5 gold pieces and the Ring of Misdirection, which has 5 charges, not 4.
Excellent.
I tried to roll a 1d3, which just doesn't work.
And I shall then... I'm just gonna vortex warp him in alone.
Okay. Yep.
And don't resist this, my friend.
Very well. Are you going to teleport me? That's what's going to happen?
Yes. And, I think given as we're looking at a cliff face with a bunch of little holes in it, his form starts to seem to have little holes in it until the holes take up all of him and he has completely disappeared and he is rebuilt inside the chamber, although no one sees that except for maybe me if I'm still peering through the thing.
Yes, with an Arcana check, he rolled an out 20, so he would know exactly what you're casting. You just say, "Oh, fascinating! I was once." That's it.
And then I will. I think I have to leave it on. That's fine. Yeah, I will use one of my regular metamatic teleport things to pop in there with him.
Okay.
Or rather, actually, the one is just on my wrist, and the others I'm seeing through it. Out the front of a lizard. Where are my... Click, sorcery point used, and now I'm in there.
And as you stand here, the footing is very difficult. You sort of find yourself on a bit of an angle. And already, Roken is sort of right up next to one question. He said, "Oh, it is absolutely splendiferous. I'm going to have to spend the entire day preparing spells for tomorrow for extraction of crystals. I really wasn't expecting to be doing this today. I was actually coming down to look at a self-propelling boat, but I got distracted. Well, anyway, you're most wonderful for getting me in here. You're more than welcome to help yourself to anything, but please try not to break any of the crystals. If you can't extract them whole, don't extract them at all."
Well, I will certainly try to fill my sack with as many easily extractable ones as I can.
Fill my sack, yes. That is incredibly optimistic. You may try one crystal. I would like to know, as they are so basically they don't just sit on the rock, they're deeply rooted into the rock. To extract them, you will need to sort of pull them up with the roots. If you've ever done any gardening, pulling a plant up by its roots, you know that sort of feeling as it sort of comes out with all the roots intact. You need to achieve that with a crystal embedded into a rock.
All right. Let's see.
So, if it's any help, he is going to be preparing stone shape and pass wall. That's the sort of thing he would be using to extract. There is, of course, the other option, which is a chisel and a hammer.
That's right. You certainly didn't advertise the difficulty of this.
Well, yes. I mean, they must be pulled out so well. Yes. There are some smaller minerals that could be pulled out a little more easily. They might be worth something. He'll point over to some sort of shimmering blue crystal that's sort of in the wall that you can literally just sort of hack out in globs. That could be used in jewelry crafting, and you might make, a couple of gold pieces for half a little bags worth. Pietro's good at that.
Yes, that's true.
He do be
just
a rock.
Standing here with my ear to this hole.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Pietro.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure just how much value there actually is in here. I was thinking if we need two people to carry so much, but it turns out I think I need just one you to actually get one of these things out of the damn wall.
What's in there anyway? Valuable.
There's these crystals that sort of hold spells and things, but they're rather more attached to the rocks than I would have liked, and I thought perhaps you could assist. Otherwise, I risk breaking it, and I've heard I only have one chance.
I'm a coming. And Pietro will open up his spell book and sort of like recite the lines of this new spell that he's just recorded that he hasn't memorized quite fully yet. And he will sort of turn into some purplish gaseous form, and will slowly begin to seep into this crack. And will materialize when he reaches Vel'zekiss. How far is it again? I can only fly 10 feet speed. Yeah, so it'll take me a little while. Longer than you think. But I'll get there. I see. You need some extraction. One moment.
I have chains and things. I could certainly smash one out of there with.
Well, I'll set my bag down and take out a hammer and chisel and start breaking away some of the rock around the chosen crystal.
Somehow I thought you were going to use magic.
I like to work with my hands when I touch the stone. It makes me feel more connected.
And as long as the crystal stops feeling so connected to the wall.
And if I may, I will attempt to aid in the extraction of such crystal.
Yeah, go ahead and give me your stone mason, stone cunning. Whatever it's called.
Not great, but a 16. I don't think I have a card to add to that. Jack took them all.
Me.
He did do that. His strange Tabaxi tales. With a 16, you will note that this could be excavated using the appropriate tools, which you, of course, do have, I believe. You have Mason's tools, etc. It would take you about an hour and a half per crystal. So, guys outside, set up camp. Have a lovely lunch.
Well, as this is happening, I'm going to look up at Toothy. Are there any stories you do remember fully?
Not
Jack, you may
really,
say
just
yes and just tell him, but not out loud if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is acceptable.
Yeah. Not really. Just ones that, like, as you say, as you said before, the ones that don't really have many lessons in them, but are fun to listen to. Like,
Can you tell me one of those?
yes, but there's other things. Let's pretend that I do.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah,
of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you guys how long you want to stay in there, if you want to extract any crystals, etc.
Hour and a half per. How many hours are we going to spend here?
While Pietro is doing that, I will say that Vel'zekiss could extract some of the blue crystal that can be used for jewelry making, and get sort of 3 or 4 pounds of it off the wall by literally just hitting it or casting spells at it. There are also some lovely little polished rocks that have sort of lots of colors going through them, a bit like, Mother of Pearl has that sort of various colors in sort of patterns. It's like that, but it's rock. Mm-hmm. It's definitely mineral.
Let's do 2 of these crystals then.
Okay.
Let's not spend too much time.
With 3 hours, you guys outside can sort of sit down, tell some tales. Eileen will tell you a couple of stories of she's heard that have been passed down. And you guys can extract 2 Viridian crystals, which, bear with me a second. Do that.
I've pulled up a story if you want one.
Yes.
Yeah. But can you just bear with me 1 second?
Yeah, of course.
So that I can just ping the thing. Do not give me verify. You are human. I am human. I'm just fast. Something. I think this will work. There you go. 1 Viridian crystal. 2, actually. So very specifically, I said an hour. I lied. It's 8 hours. Crystal stores spells cast into it, holding them until they're released using a command word. Crystal can store a single spell at a time for up to 8 hours. Anyone can cast a spell into the crystal, but only up to level 5 spells, please. And then anybody else can release it. Effectively, this would allow you to I don't know, put a fireball in a crystal and then hand it to a sneaky rogue who might sneak up a tree and then use it to cast the fireball down there using your spell DC, your modifier, etc., etc. Or anything else that you guys can think of that you might do with this. Hell, you could have put gaseous form into it, handed it to Toothy, and had 3 of you go into this cave, for example.
Right.
Cool.
Hey, I'm happy with just the 5 gold being put directly in my hand. That's the most gold I've had in my actual inventory the whole campaign by far.
Well, the ring might come in useful as well. Do bear in mind that ring does not recharge.
Right.
I think it does say becomes a mundane ring when the charges are expended.
Yeah, and I might end up giving it to somebody just because I mostly will try to leap out of the way and to avoid magically leap out the way to avoid opportunity attacks. But I'll take a look.
If somebody, like, say I store Spirit Guardians into a crystal and then hand it to Boxxo, would he be able to, like, hold the concentration on that?
Yep, absolutely.
Ooh, so we could have a little AoE rogue
going
around up there.
Absolutely. Sneaking around and maybe not even being seen, but still killing people with his Spirit Guardians. You could also put a Spirit Guardians on Toothy, who could then stand there, and he's got really good con saves and difficult
That would be
hit
nasty, yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could absolutely put all sorts of things going in it.
Is it an action to use the crystal or a bonus action? I can't remember.
It is whatever the spell is.
Got you.
Although, again, much like the wand, no more than an action, I would say.
Okay, yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean, it can even just be something as simple as popping a healing spell in it and handing it to somebody else and stuff like that each morning. After 8 hours, the spell expires, and the crystal is left empty again. When you use the spell, the crystal will be expended.
Got you. So he can't hold like a crystal of fireball indefinitely. Like it'd have to be prepared the day of.
Exactly. Yeah. That is why at 8 hours, so that you can't. Well, the big reason is so that you can't just go. Oh well, it's late at night. We'll just put some spells in there, and in the morning we'll just use them up. And get 4 copies of Death Ward out for the day or something stupid like that. No, 8 hours is as long as they will hold. You can buy these at arcane stores. You can buy them for a couple of gold. You could sell them for about 6 silver each. So they're not super expensive, but they are quite rare. So finding them might be difficult. You'd have to be in a big city like Mazrea.
Pietro will mark this spot on his map to remember for future reference.
Ironically, D'Souza probably had some of these stolen back in the day. So yeah, cool. You extract a couple of these. You see the gnome sort of deep in sleep, having sort of worked out what spells he'll prepare tomorrow. He just sort of pulls out a strange-looking rod, which when he sticks it down in the ground, it sprouts sort of like wings and then comes down like a weird-shaped tent. It's big enough for only a small creature, so a gnome or a halfling. And then he crawls into it, and it sort of whirs and goes slightly obscured until it's just a shadow in the cave. Strange little dude. He is a repeatable, so you might find Broken the Gnome elsewhere if you wish to write his name down. Indeed, you can
He's
find
going to
him.
have to be in here for quite a while to make money on this, I think.
As are we, and I'm about spent. Shall we get out of here?
Yes, let's. Do you need me to?
I could,
catch you
but
up?
If you will.
You are cheaper. Very interestingly, that card for Roken was once Furlock. When we moved to a new campaign, I just put a line through Furlock and wrote Roken.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, we're probably not doing the most adventuring today, but I'll do the same way that I did the guy by sending you out with Vortex Warp.
Well, otherwise, I would spend a third, and you would have to spend something to get out at some point, right?
Right. If I was going to do both of us together with a spell, it would be a third, and you've already used one of yours, so it would be fair. But I'll just use a second, and then my sorcery point.
Got you.
I have to send the lizard back out with the bracelet.
Yep.
And so I shall do so. Use both of those.
As this lizard comes out with a bracelet, you will find yourself in the middle of a story. Weary, what was the... Sorry. Toothy, what was the tale you were telling? Don't think I'm skipping on that.
So I have a traditional Dreamtime story here that's not that long, so I'll just tell it. A long time ago in the Dreamtime lived a frog called Tiddalik. Tiddalik was the largest frog in the entire world. One very warm morning, he woke up feeling very, very thirsty and started to drink the fresh water. He drank and drank, and he kept on drinking till the fresh water in the entire billabong was gone. When the other animals arrived at the billabong to get their morning drink, they found it was all dried up. This made them very sad. They knew Tiddalik, the frog, had drunk all the water, and they knew they needed to come up with a plan to get the water back. They didn't know how. They thought and they thought and they thought, till they realised that the best way to get the water back was to make Tiddalik laugh. If they could make him laugh, then all the water would come spilling out of his mouth and stomach and back into the billabong. The first animal to try and make him laugh was the echidna. She rolled herself up into a tight little ball and rolled down the bank of the billabong like a bowling ball. The kangaroo laughed and so did the emu, but Tiddalik didn't laugh. The next animal to try and make Tiddalik laugh was the wombat. The wombat stood up on his hind legs and danced around in a little circle until he fell over in the dirt. The galah laughed, and so did the goanna, but the Tiddalik didn't laugh. The next animal to try and make the Tiddalik laugh was the kookaburra. She perched herself up on a branch close to Tiddalik and told her funniest story. It was so funny that she burst out into laughing, but Tiddalik didn't laugh. He just sat there with his big belly full of water. Finally, the snake decided to try and make the Tiddalik laugh. She started to dance and dance, wriggling and squirming all over the ground, until she eventually tied herself into a knot. The knot was so tight that she struggled and struggled to untie herself, but was stuck. Tiddalik watched her struggle around, trying to untie herself, and let out a small chuckle. The small chuckle turned into a rumbling, and rumbling in his tummy before it turned into a great big belly laugh. The water came gushing out of his mouth and filled the billabong back up once again. All the animals jumped with joy as they took big, long gulps of the water to quench their thirst.
And the motto is, if you ever need to make someone laugh, use a snake?
No, the moral of the story is about sharing resources and the consequences of greed.
Okay. So it's Tiddalik's greed, not the...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm just trying to think if how much of that I would have caught, but certainly the enough of the
well,
ending.
you've got. I think you came out when the Gallania did not laugh. After the kookaburra told a great joke.
So, the more of the story is that the most hilarious possible thing is the misfortune of others. Suffering of a tied-up snake.
No, I think it's that if you're greedy, that people gang up on you.
Yeah,
Right?
and that horrible things happen when you are greedy.
Horrible.
He just kind of looks at Boxxo's money pouch and just like makes a pointed glass, like how bulging his money pouch is, and just like, indeed.
Speaking as someone whose entire livelihood was based on entertainment for some time, it sounds to me like the frog got a free show.
Well, our greed has left me famished. Is there anything to eat?
As you are blessed by the tale of Toothy, I will give each of you any advantage on all insight checks for the rest of the day.
Ah,
Ooh.
nice.
As you are feeling insightful as you've learned the tale of Tiddalik.
Ooh.
Maybe, Jack, you could also have the advantage on insight checks, even though you told the tale and knew it already.
I already knew that.
Because fucking why not? Cool. And then we will be back on the place on the side of the road with the journey with the thing, but I can't find any of the stuff, so bear with. Right. Okay. Well, currently I think we were here. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Means we should have some by the sea music.
Mm.
I think you've already been listening to this earlier on. And it is approximately sort of 1 p.m. On the 16th, Dreamwraith. 16th. And why don't I see this out? And you come to, you sort of all get back in the carriage and begin wandering on down the road again, as you do. As you are passing a sort of area where the path goes inland and back out, you will notice the either side of the path, these sort of high cliffs with lots of coloured plants growing out of them. And Corrie, can I ask you please to roll me a d20?
Yeah.
I'm really struggling to do these a bit more quickly. You have to give me a second. So
Yeah.
the right one. Where is it? No, I do not know where I put it. Ah, here we go. Yes, the D20. What did you get?
17.
A 17. You will find that the side of these cliff edges are rife with bloodgrass. Bloodgrass is a restorative that can allow you to craft potions of stamina or eat them to sort of restore your energy. It is just a natural nutrient. Very easy to extract, provided you are able to scale the walls. And you can just sort of chop it off, hack it off. It's just really, you know, it's just quite a common ingredient. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to try and get some of that.
Fantastic. Can you scale the walls? Is that within your power?
No, but I do have a small friend who has like some scaling walls ability that
He might point
be...
out to you that he left you some boots of climbing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's true.
But he could
his
also
boots.
he could also just do it himself. Just a little note: this is the actual contextual text of bloodgrass, the most boring common plant life found in the wild. It's a dark brown grass. It has no remarkable qualities other than being relatively harmless, and its use as basic sustenance when properly prepared. They do not find it very unique, but tend to collect it as it occupies almost no space in their packs. And you can make potions of stamina, which can reduce levels of exhaustion.
Now that I've identified it, is it easy for anyone to extract, or would you like need a?
Anyone can
skill
extract it as long as they can get up
perfect.
there. It's sort of 7 or 8
Yeah.
feet up. Yeah.
Can we pause here for a moment? I see some grass up there that would be quite useful for my alchemy needs. Boxxo, would you be able to make your way up there for me? It seems like something that you would be skilled at. I've seen you go on ceilings even.
Vel'zekiss, can you give me an animal handling check?
I was going to say, I'll knock back. Vel'zekiss, stop the cart.
By the way, I've been distracted the whole time. Just now that I have this familiar lizard, I'm just popping him in and out of existence at different points because I just fascinated at completely free teleporting a lizard around, which is not what I'm doing, but that's what it looks like. Animal handling, you say?
Yep.
12
for the lizard. Yeah, you sort of, the carriage stops like a little abruptly as the pull on the reins is slightly too sharp, and I said, "Whoa, just a little chance next." I seem to have spilled my drink. And then the rest of you, sorry, you were asking Boxxo. You might be quite skilled at that. Boxxo, what did you say?
You can make potions with grass.
It isn't a normal grass. It's the slightly darker one up there, the brownish colored grass that would help me make potions of stamina, and we might have use for those down the road.
I'll get out of the carriage. As I do, I just whisper to myself, brown grass. And
As you
then
look up, you will see this reddish-brown grass that looks a bit like dried blood. You'll also see these beautiful blue and yellow flowers, sort of like pansies with blue petals with yellow running through them. Ironically, not the thing that Corrie asked for. Those are just pretty flowers. They have no alchemical properties whatsoever. They're nice though.
Well, I will scale the wall, quite like a dragon, like on all fours.
Okay, so this isn't just a sort of I walk up the wall because I have boots of spider climbing.
No.
You still look like you're climbing. Okay, I like that.
Well, not really climbing, like
Scaling.
like you know, because like a dragon is like a dog. It has like 4 legs. It like runs like that.
I have never once thought a dragon was like a dog, but sure. They do have
Just,
4
I
legs.
mean,
I'll
like
give you
in
that,
its
yes.
movement.
Yes.
Well, anyways, that's how I scale
Okay.
with hands and feet.
You're like bounding up the wall, sort
Exactly.
of thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. But I will grab the stuff and bring it back
Yep.
down.
2.5 pounds of bloodgrass. 25 uses. It's real cheap shit.
Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, with that, you guys can carry on down the road, and the road will wind inwards. I will bring us to our world map and show you something. Okay. So we are now going in a little bit. As you might note, the path goes away from the cliffs and cuts across land to Shumar. You're about 3 or 4 hours into the journey. It is now sort of long past lunchtime. You would have had lunch in the carriage, I assume, dried food, that sort of stuff. And you're approaching sort of 4:30 in the afternoon when you come across a farmstead. And as you sort of look over from the path at the farmstead, you see a man standing outside, a farmer it would seem, with a shovel in his hand, shouting, "Hey! Hey you! Can you help me? Please! Please help me! I shall die this night if you can't!"
Is he shouting at us?
Yes, definitely. There is no one else
I see.
anywhere nearby.
Will we
Stop
help
the
him?
cart!
You
Next
just,
time I talk to some person in the middle of the morning, remind me that this happens all damn day.
What do you need, sir?
I need help! I'm beset upon by a ghost, I am! I've got this stupid circle, but I don't know. If I try and leave it, it tries to kill me.
That sounds
and-
serious.
I've just realised you guys are, yeah. If you want to place your tokens, Pondy map, at the path,
the map.
please.
Where's the path? Ah, I see.
Sort of down the roadside, if you don't mind.
Did we get a cooking check in the morning?
Yeah, you guys added
Yeah.
7 max HP.
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It was the
I'm sorry,
quiche.
You miss it, you don't get it.
Too busy writing.
Oh, I ate. I know. Seriously, it was just like holding the quiche, but not quite eating it, just like writing. And I'm like, oh, this is too cold now. Although cold quiche is nice.
Also, Toothy, what happened to you? You're not at full health. Corey is worried.
Oh yeah.
So this story talking really takes it out of you.
I was supposed to be.
Cool. So yeah, you see this man, and he is in a circle of what looks to be salt. It's not. This circle is not too contextually correct. But he's basically surrounded himself in salt with these little sort of warding posts of stone around. And I paid a woman for this circle long ago. And it seems to be the only thing that'll keep me safe.
Does this circle look like something that could actually do anything?
Most definitely. Sorry, that image will be relevant in a minute. I did not mean to ping that right there and then. Yes, this circle, as you sort of look over, it definitely glows with an ethereal light. And it is definitely a circle that wards off the undead. And as you are looking over at him, you will hear a whisper from the trees to your right, Corrie. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him at all. He's a murderer, he is. And you'll see, not quite like that. That is, in fact, it's not really correct at all. What instead you see is a creature that has sort of a head coming out of its shoulder, a body sort of crossed over across it. It's sort of like 4 or 5 bodies mulched into one, but one face, a female face with long grey hair. So if you just imagine the head of that image I've accidentally pinged. Sort of with his long grey hair and red eyes, is speaking to you. He murdered our whole family, he did, to take our farm. And we want revenge.
Oh my. Everyone?
We won't harm you. And as they come closer, you feel this cold chill. Corrie, can you give me a religion check, please? And at the same time, I will take from Pietro and Vel'zekiss an Arcana check, and from Toothy a history check, please. Sorry,
James, why did you that's fine. Why did they want revenge, did you say?
This, apparently, according to this ghost-like creature, this farmer killed their entire family and took their farm.
History check from me. I don't know anything.
Yeah, sorry, bear with me a second.
Oh my goodness.
I will start with Toothy. Toothy, what did you get on your history check?
9.
9. You have heard a story told within the Tabaxi lore of spirits rising up for revenge. Doesn't give you a huge amount of information, but gives you something. Then I will take the 2 Arcana checks, please.
27 me, 24 Pietro.
Okay, yeah, both of you will get the same information. This creature is a creature born of revenge, which you would know to be a revenant. Revenants are very, very difficult to keep dead, as they keep coming back for revenge over and over again. But something different about this one, it is not one single one, but it is a group of them. You've never heard of that, but perhaps Corrie has. Corrie, how was your religion check?
A nat 20.
Nat 20. Right, so with a nat 20, I will say that you have seen this you've actually seen this occur once before. However, in that situation, you were probably in the Savage West. An entire village was sacked by the Emperor Kiazan, and children and all. And this revenant grew. They called it a graveyard revenant. And indeed, the one that you saw would be much larger than this. And I do have an image of what that would have looked like, which I'm just pinging to chat now. What? Why is that not?
Whoa.
Is that working? Oh, it is working. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of as a mass murder, all these sort of creatures raised as one and shamble towards, but always there is one face, one head, one main being that is able to talk and communicate its need for revenge, whilst all the others remain effectively limbs. So it is a single-minded creature.
Well, there's a big revenant over here, but if it's here, then it's getting revenge for something that happened to it. And if it's getting revenge upon this farmer, then the farmer did something to it. And
you know that to be true, but you do also know that the reason for revenge, it could be lying.
Yeah.
Insight check. We have advantage on them.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to talk to it a little bit longer, but
Who
Farmer, is this true?
Is anyone proficient in insight?
Yes.
I am.
Okay, the two of you can.
I
have an
am
insight
as
check?
well.
Oh, all
I
three of you
am
can
as
have an insight check with advantage, please.
Oh shit! I forgot to roll with advantage. That's not bad though. I'll take that one.
Yeah, all three of you believe. All three 23s. Beautiful. Oh no, sorry, two 23s and a 21. I see. That is. But,
Mine was the reroll. Yeah, sorry.
But yes, you all three of you believe that there is definitely some truth to this. There is definitely this family was killed by that farmer. You would believe that 100%. But as you say to this farmer, is this true? He said, yes, I did kill the whole family. And I had a very good reason to do so. They turfed us out, they did. They turfed us out on the road. Came in, took our entire farm while we were away on a trip. I put my very mother to rest. And turfed us out, and they wouldn't let us come back in. My children were starving. They would give us nothing. They left us out on the road.
Question doesn't translate to American. What is turfing someone out? Is it like squatters moved in and then like...
Basically, they moved in as squatters and then went, you can't come home.
Okay, cool. I've just never heard that phrase. And with your
inside checks, I will say that is, you believe both sides of this story.
Oh, okay. So who are we killing?
I love that there's no like...
We're adventurers.
There's no peaceful resolution to this. Boxxo is just like, somebody's got to die. Which one do we want to kill?
Boxxo
already stabbed, just point me in the direction.
The Revenant turns to you and, I will tear him limb from limb. You may die with him or get out the way. And the man will shout, please help me. I've got nothing left. It's just me. I've got no way of protecting myself. It's already taken my family. Please don't let me die. I don't deserve it. I was only given my family the life they deserved, the life that we had worked for and earned, before it was so viciously taken from us by these people.
Stop your crying. You're both pieces of shit. But this man is a living, and this is the undead. And I look at Corrie. I'll look at Corrie.
Corrie.
I defer.
Did you get that 20 on your religion check? Is that right?
Yes.
I get that right?
Yep.
So you would know something else about revenants. Once they have achieved their revenge, it can go one of two ways. They can either find peace in the few plane, or they can go insane with unsated need for vengeance and start killing willy-nilly.
Who's willy-nilly?
I knew him once.
He knows clairvoyant.
Yes, I was going to ask, sort of mostly to Corrie and Pietro, like, what we think will happen with this one, gesturing to the Revenant, if he just dies of thirst in that stupid circle. Sounds like perhaps he would be, they would be unsated.
This is
Magic as the story sounds, I feel like we must look to a law of the land to deal with this terrible human farmer, but there is no saving this revenant at this point, and I feel like the best course is to unfortunately remove it.
Remove it! And she, sort of hair flying, rushes forward at you, Corrie, to strike you, and I will ask you please to roll initiative. You have made your choice whether you wished to or not. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah. Pietro, as you see this creature rush forward to strike Corrie. Does anybody else want to swap initiative? No, it's not going to make any difference. You're all at the same time. Okay, cool. Pietro, as you see this creature rush forward to strike Corrie, what do you do? Let's have some actual...
Well, I'm certainly going to try to prevent him from rushing Corrie.
Okay. He does get into melee range.
James, quick thing. Can I still ask to swap even though I'm there, just because I could get Bless Up on Boxxo before he goes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, that doesn't do anything. Hold on.
If you're willing to do that,
That's cool. Yep, that's fine. Boxxo,
definitely.
Boxxo, are you willing to take bless?
No.
No?
I
What do you
hate
mean,
blasters.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
So-
absolutely, that absolutely makes sense. Pietro.
Yeah, so Pietro's gonna walk right up to this fucking revenant. And it's like a group of revenants or one big ass revenant?
Right, so let me explain this creature a little more. So it stands about 12 foot tall. It has this sort of one head of the woman, which is slightly larger than it should be, with this sort of grey hair flying out behind them, red eyes, and then it has a head growing out of its shoulder. Almost like a second body reaching out of it with a second pair of arms out of its side. And if you sort of look over the creature, you'll see sort of as if two people were standing back to back and had molded in sort of a man with his head reached forward and his arms sort of out the back like this. It is 5 corpses meshed into one being.
Jesus, it's like a fucking Frankenstein. Okay. Well, I'm gonna use this ability that I picked up. And you'll basically see Pietro move forward with some haste. And he'll sort of hold his hands sort of like in a ball shape, and you'll see sort of graviturgical energy sort of forming into an orb into his, and he'll sort of like almost like move across the floor as if he's like sliding towards this thing, and a huge wave of energy will blast out as he casts Pulse Wave,
Love that.
which is a con save.
Can I just confirm you can direct this outwards?
Outwards in a cone, 30
It's a
feet.
cone, right? Okay, sorry, I thought it was one of these emanations coming out from you. Right, okay, cool. Yeah, con save. That is a 20.
Wow. Well, it'll take half of 21 damage.
What's the damage type, please?
Force.
It will take half of half. This creature resists force damage.
And then that sort of fucked me up because I was going to hope to push it away fucking 20 feet. But I will settle with a bonus action telekinetic push
Okay.
to get it off of this.
Yeah, go ahead. You give it a push.
It's a
It gets a
strength save.
17.
It fucking saves, of course.
Okay.
And I will expend a charge from the book
Mm-hmm.
to take an extra 15 feet unprovoked
Yep.
of movement.
Absolutely.
And I will back the fuck up.
Cool. Does that conclude your turn, Pietro?
Yeah.
That brings us to our Revenant, who rolled a 23 as well. Rolled a 24 initiative, which is why you might find yourself with a 35. And he will move forward and reach up to Corrie, and he's going to try and grab you by the throat and strangle you to death.
Jesus.
That is a 27 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
No.
No?
Well, I'm gonna admonish the tyrannical, so he has disadvantage.
Okay. That is a 23 to hit you.
Don't hit.
Okay, so as he grabs you, it's like, bludgeoning damage, 6 bludgeoning damage, plus 14 necrotic damage.
Oh my god.
You are grappled. Whilst grappled in this way, you are suffocating. You cannot breathe. Okay. And then she, I suppose, really turns her eye upon all of you with a baleful stare. I will ask all of you for a wisdom save, please.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh shit.
Do we have an aura yet? We don't, do we?
No, this next level.
Okay. What have we got, guys? Anyone below a 15?
Yes.
Yep.
Me.
Pietro and Toothy also below a 15?
Yeah, good night.
You are both paralyzed.
Oh, geez.
Oh, I'm always paralyzed.
You are always paralyzed. I'm sorry. Just roll better. Fuck's sake. Cool.
Is this a disease?
No. And with that, have I got reach? I have got 10-foot reach. Its second arm comes out. Toothy and pulls you closer. Hopefully. So I will attack with advantage. This won't be an automatic crit, I don't think. Is it melee attacks or is it attacks with a creature within 5 feet? I can never remember. Paralyzed, 5
Within 5 feet. Within 5 feet. Within 5 feet.
Yeah, if the attacker is within 5 feet, yep. So it's not a crit, but it is a 24 to hit you, which I'm assuming will hit. And you will take 14 bludgeoning damage, 12 necrotic. You are grappled, paralyzed, and suffocating. Corrie, Stumblebump, you are up.
Okay, by suffocating, does that take out things that I need voice to cast?
The definition is you take 1d6 of necrotic damage at the beginning of your turn. Hey, I should probably do that, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
And this may increase as the rounds go on. So you take 6 necrotic damage.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you can act freely, do all the things you want, apart from the fact that you're grappled, so your movement speed is reduced to 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So then I am going to do a bless to also get myself a little more protection here. We're just going to do the... no, I'm going to upcast this for a level 2.
Okay, so 4 creatures.
So 4 targets, yep. So we're going to do... God, I feel bad that I never give it to Pietro, but everybody but Pietro.
Yep. Well, it was Pietro who told you not to give it to him, so it makes sense.
I know, but then after he told me that it was so many times when he needed it to
I am paralyzed.
Get out of paralysis.
Concentration and stuff.
Cool.
Okay, and then we're up here. There's only 1 target. Bonus action. I'm just gonna do a healing word on myself.
Okay. As opposed to a potion?
Oh, that's
you
true.
can't cast 2 spells in a turn anyway, so it would have to be a potion.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool.
I'm gonna do my high.
Great. Love
I'm gonna
that.
do my daily high.
So I love this. You have there is a creature just currently choking you out, and you're just like, let me just stop applying. I'm sure I can fit it down that hole. But you will, of course, be healed. Yeah, cool. Does that conclude your turn?
Yeah, that's it for me.
The creature will take a legendary action. And it will simply go... and Toothy and Corrie, you will take 11 bludgeoning damage. Boxxo, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up. I'm gonna try and stab at the arm that's grappling Corrie if I can to try and get it.
Yeah. That is 10 or 11 feet up in the air.
But am I jumping?
How high do you think you can jump?
I've got plus 8 acrobatics.
That's the equivalent of you jumping, you personally, Josh, jumping.
Right, but my acrobatics is not
24 feet into the air.
Rogue.
That's to the second floor of our house.
That is not a good comparison. This is a fantasy world.
Okay, give me an athletics check to jump, or if you prefer, you can try and run up the side of the creature using your boots of spider climbing.
I'll do that.
Okay, so you run up its side and hack at the arm. Go ahead, roll to hit. You have a +2 from flanking with Vel'zekiss. You will also need to move.
Yeah.
You'll be here.
So that is a 28.
Yeah, a 28 will hit.
That's not very good. That's 14 psychic damage.
Okay, he will not relinquish his hold, and will only take 7 psychic damage. Anything else in Boxxo?
Sure, I'll stay on top of him, and I'll bonus action stab his arm again.
Okay.
Try and get him to let go. So that's 14 plus 1, 15 to hit.
Okay. Sorry, 15 to hit, did you say?
Yeah.
That'll hit.
That is 7 psychic damage.
Okay, reduced to 3.
Is he let go yet?
No. No, I'm not even going to make
Okay.
the save for that.
Then I'll just scale back down his body and go away.
Okay, he'll take an opportunity attack.
With what? He's grappling 2 people, no?
He's got about 12 arms.
Fine, I'll stay on top of him.
Oh, okay. Back we go. Yeah, cool. Okay, legendary action. As he squeezes the 2 of you. That is a further 13 bludgeoning damage. Toothy, at the end of your turn, I will take a wisdom save, please.
Do I notice that he's taking less damage from my daggers?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You notice that he took
got
less
a-
damage from the force as well.
I got a 14.
Not a 14. Did you did you get blessed? You got blessed.
Oh yeah, I did
You
get
will
blessed.
succeed. The DC is 15.
Yay.
Fantastic. And you sort of you struggle a little bit, and you feel that sort of light. Those sort of what does your blessed look like? Is it like starry emanation on them, or what's the blessed looking like, Corrie?
The bless really hasn't had a designated
It just glows slightly.
image. Yeah.
Love that.
They just
You'll feel that sort of light and warmth pulsing through you, sort of break off the paralysis as Corrie assists you. And yeah, you are no longer paralyzed, but that is the end of your turn, Lucy.
Yep.
You are still being grappled. And
Yep.
Vel'zekiss, you are up.
Alright, this being grabbed by him doesn't seem great.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem even slightly great.
I know you guys are going to want to rush back up and get next to him because that's what you do, but it seems so stupid to leave you there. Grabbed by him. So, I'm not going to. Unless you really, really want to stay grappled by him and resist my spell, I will twin vortex warp and send you both away from here.
Sick. Can you choose how far away that is?
Yeah, so
You could effectively, I'm
Real
just going to
far.
ask, you could still position them where you're in range of the armor, for example, and stuff. You don't have to go that far away.
right.
Many feet away. Okay, cool. Where would you
But
like
I'm
to
also
send them?
going to move some, so myself. So, once it's over, I am going to go use my bonus action to go 15 myself, and then I can run.
Yeah, where would you like them to go?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to figure.
Okay, right. I was just clarifying.
No. Well, we have no idea how fast this thing is yet. You know what I mean? It hasn't really had to go anywhere.
No concept of that.
And they could
He
probably
does also have
even-
Boxxo standing on his shoulder.
Why not send them into the circle?
Ooh.
Okay.
It's like 90 feet.
Yeah.
So you can come running back out if you like, fellas. But for now, you pop into the safety, presumably, of that circle. Then I will get away from opportunity attacks, not with the mislead ring, but with my bonus action 5, 10, 50. Wait, 5, 10, just to here. And then I will run my 30. See if I can get there myself. 5, 10, 15. No, I can only get to the edge. Reorient the fight where we have at least a potential to do different things, and that's my turn.
Legendary action. No prizes for guessing what's happening to you, Boxxo. That's a natural 20. So that is 20 bludgeoning damage.
I will take half.
Okay, well hold on then, because it is also 29 necrotic, so it is 49 damage, half to 23, unless you have any resistance to necrotic or bludgeoning damage.
I do not.
Okay,
Legendary action. Sorry.
Go on.
It's not related to being grappled, right? It's just something that it's
So
doing because
you've seen
we're
two
close.
different legendary actions now. The first one is a bludgeoning attack to try and grab you. and the second there's a crush of a creature it is already grappling.
But is it grappling Boxxo?
Now that it has hit him, that attack is a grapple attack.
Okay.
Okay, so
Got
on
it.
its next legendary action, it will be able to squeeze and tighten the grip. And once again, continue the previous one. So just for some context, legendary actions are creatures that are powerful boss-like creatures get legendary actions. Usually they've got 3 or at least 3 points that they can spend. Some legendary actions cost 2 or 3 points. Some creatures, especially at lower levels that I introduce, may have less than 3 legendary action points. And it's an action they can take immediately after the turn of anyone other than themselves. And it basically evens out the action economy to make the fight frightening. Because even if this guy was doing 65 damage, you guys would have so many actions that it would just not be worth mentioning. So that's how it makes it even. And Pietro, it is your turn. At the end of your turn, you may make me a wisdom save, please.
Jeez Louise.
That ain't it. So, at the end of your turn, he will move over, and Pietro, he will swing at you. That is a 12 to hit.
Amazingly, it does not.
Oh, sorry, no, it's not. No, it's not, because you rolled an advantage because of you're paralyzed. So 22 to hit.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, okay, cool. So he's going to grab you and crush you, and that will be an auto crit because he is right next to you. So that'll be 25 plus 29 necrotic. 25 bludgeoning, 29 necrotic. Or
I'm down.
is that an exact down? Or is that no? It's 54, isn't it? Not 44. Yeah.
54 damage? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Cool. And then clutching your unconscious body, he will zoom over here. 5, 20, 25, 30. And then he will stare over at you guys. And that brings us to Corrie.
Yeah. What's my range on this? 60 feet.
Plenty of range.
Okay. Yeah. So I got everybody here. We're gonna do a little mass healing word
Okay.
on everybody.
Yep, it's up to 6 creatures, right?
Yep, up to 6 creatures.
Okay.
So 10 health to everybody.
Okay. Love that. Pietro, obviously, will come back up. You
I
are
still
not
paralyzed?
but you are still grappled.
Yeah.
So that was on
Sorry,
my...
Toothy, you are also no longer paralyzed, aren't you? Good. Yep.
bonus
and then
action.
No longer grappled.
So then I'm going to pull out the Starshot light crossbow to attack. Well, I guess... No, we haven't seen what radiant damage does yet.
You have not. You have only seen Psychic and Force be resisted.
Radiant
Okay.
him up.
So I am going to do a Celestial Burst.
Okay.
Which that's going to miss on a...
You have a
on
bless,
one.
do you not?
Oh.
It's a... That was a...
Oh, is that a nat
nat
1? Okay, no, that
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
Yep.
you're correct.
Nat-
Okay, anything else, Corrie?
No, I'm pretty happy in my little circle here. Unless,
Boxxo.
actually, here. Sorry, I am going to just move myself to make room for others coming in.
Legendary action, Boxxo, you will take 8 bludgeoning damage, and at the start of your turn, you'll take 6 necrotic damage. It is now your turn. Just a reminder that to escape a grapple is a acrobatics or athletics check.
And is that a free action?
No, it's an action. Nothing free about it.
Boo. I'm just gonna attack him.
Okay.
However, seeing that my daggers aren't as powerful as they usually are, I will unsheath my crystal rapier.
Oh.
What damage type does that do, Josh?
It's and radiant damage.
+2,
That-
as Pietro is taking up some of his concentration.
Plus 3, so 26.
Yeah, 26 will hit.
Cool. That is 24 damage, 4 of that being radiant.
Okay, so it'll be 28 radiant, 28 damage. He takes double
And-
damage from radiant and takes regular damage from the piercing.
Ooh, how much radiant damage?
Takes 8, so double. He's vulnerable.
Okay, cool. I will use a charge to regain 8 health.
Nice.
Cool.
What the fuck weapon are you using?
Crystal rapier.
Did I give this to you? Where did I? What was this from?
It was in one of the. I think it was in the treasure cove, I believe.
I didn't invent it.
I didn't invent it. Wait, what? Oh, it has charges. Okay, you don't just heal for the amount of damage dealt. Okay,
No,
that's
I
all
said I'm going to use a charge.
Yeah, sorry, you did say that, didn't you? And it doesn't necessarily gain all the charges. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm okay with this now. I'm more okay than I was a second ago. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. And of course, it only healed you for 8 because the creature was vulnerable to radiant damage. Yes.
And yeah, that's me.
Cool. Toothy.
This better work. Alright. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I look at Vel'zekiss and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
You could have at least
As
waited
a-
to get healed more, you fool, but whatever.
I will attack with the Bloodshed Scimitar.
Okay.
That's a 24 to hit.
Plus.
I
plus,
will-
Exactly, that'll hit.
Yeah.
Yep. I will smite.
Okay.
Second level smite.
Okay. You may add
Oh,
an
yeah.
extra D8 because he is undead. So that'll be a 4d8 of radiant damage at second level.
Alright. Okay.
The blood.
Can I have the regular scimitar damage first though? Because
Yep,
that might be a bit
yep,
confusing.
of course.
Any hit dice expenditures?
All of them, so 5d10. So, but do
Give
you
it
want the
to me.
radiant damage first?
Give me the 5d10 of scimitar
Alright.
damage first, and he throws his hit die out the window. I'm absolutely in love with this.
Ooh, shit.
That's
33.
33
That was alright.
slashing damage, and then I will take a 4d8 of radiant to which he is vulnerable.
Come on, baby.
Vel'zekiss slowly forgiving him as he walks up to the creature
No,
and deals
I just
90
did that when he
damage.
walked over there, that's all.
God, my tremor, because I'm so nervous right now.
It could be 4 8s or 4 1s. Or somewhere in the middle as another 40 radiant damage comes down. Yeah, the creature is wounded. He didn't like that. And he turns to look at you, Toothy. Anything else? Second attack, maybe?
Second attack.
+2 from flanking, plus the bless as well.
Nah, I'm out. Oh, wait,
Bless,
+2
bless.
and then the bless.
Yeah, +2,
Okay,
and then you
so-
need a 2 on the bless.
So that's,
12.
that's a 12.
You need a 2 on the bless, I will tell you that. That is
Make
what
sure
you
to-
need. An exact 14 to hit. Go ahead. You've got no hit die left, I assume.
No, that's it.
So 12 slashing.
Give me
and
spell slot?
12
Any more
slashings on top
smiting?
of that. Yeah, I'll smite second level again.
Beautiful.
Hell
Give me
yeah.
another
As well.
4d8 of radiant damage.
That's looking better.
Oh, yes.
Please describe his
Oh,
great
you
demise.
So as I make eye contact with Vel'zekiss, I get out the blade again, and this time, instead of like, I was apprehensive in using this blade because it felt a bit,
Dark.
you know, in terms of like, oh, like not right now, but just in general, I was like, this seems like it's sort of, you know, a bit like dark.
Yeah.
but I'm embracing that a little bit right now, and so I run up and I take out the blade, and once again my battle standard glows a bright red this time, incredibly bright, and my aura around me becomes red as well, as it sort of mixes with the infusion that the blade has, and sort of like this energy that is a mix of yellow and orange and red just gets like electrified down into the blade, and I make one cut, and that just just decimates the first part, and then a second cut horizontally, and that just cuts the thing in half.
Beautiful. You may each take 785 experience points. It was not an easy fight, and I was really glad that I managed to make you expend some spell slots wandering into a crystal cave. However, as you sort of do finish that, Farmer sort of saying, "Oh my god, that was incredible. Do you have any way of stopping it from keeping coming back?" And Corrie, rolling off that net 20, you would know that you could consecrate the ground in an hour-long ceremony around this creature's body with holy water, or you can cast a spell, good and evil. Either one of those things would immediately make it so this creature cannot come back.
I don't have that spell prepared, and I feel like it's kind of a good time where we would be wanting to rest and recover here anyways.
Oh, you may stay in my house. I've got spare bedrooms from where the family used to live. It's just me left now. These creatures come nightly and taken one of us and lost.
But I think well, I will take the time to do the ritual here to cleanse the evil from the land and let it heal itself over time.
Mm-hmm. It takes 24 hours for this creature to restore itself, so you will probably find that being a priest of the constellation, a cleric of the constellation, your ritual will be far more effective at night, or at least after the sun has set, when the stars are out. I will ask if we could start with that next session, giving you some time to prepare it, as we're going to cut this one a little short. The farmer will invite you in to take rest in his house, and he will show his gratitude, though he is also incredibly sad, obviously, at what this creature has taken from him. But I didn't mention in advance, guys, but I do need to do a shorter session today, so that is where we will cut. And we will come to the Timeless Tradition MVPs. Now, I have a few. I am going to go first, but I will come back to them because they were inspiration worthy. However, I really enjoyed the different methodologies of the Crystal Cave, getting in, getting out, how you could assist, your disdain for this idiot gnome, and also your sort of interest in general, but mostly from Pietro and from Vel'zekiss, but there was, other parts going on. I really enjoyed your entire interaction with the Crystal Cave. Joe.
So I'm up first-ish, so I get to steal what I think many people enjoyed early on was, from now on, every fairy tale ever told must start with a while ago. Instead of once upon a time. Disney's going to have to reissue all of the movies.
I don't remember quite how long.
Instead of once upon a time,
like
a while ago.
Yeah. Josh.
I really liked the story that Jack told. It was very silly and fun. And also that fight was really fun, really scary.
You guys obviously could have all stood in the circle and just fired out range shots because it actually can't enter the circle at all, or do any damage to it. So that is how I assumed it would be. Very, very frightening until you got in there, and then it'd be fine. But it worked out very differently, mostly because of this Jack guy. Jack, your MVP.
I really liked the way Boxxo was like, well, if it's not written down, all the stories could just be lies.
Well,
And
because
it's like,
nobody
yeah,
can lie if they write it in a book.
No, but I think his point was more like if there's multiple, like
Yeah, Chinese whispers,
No,
right? The stories would
Yeah.
filter
Yeah,
down
and
and get
stories
washed.
change
Yeah,
over
100%.
time.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
It made
Yeah.
sense. It was just it was very fun. Rico.
There were a lot of good moments. Some that made me laugh. I thought Who's Claire was pretty funny. But
Clairvoyance and willy nilly.
having played a paladin during our time in Beldania, just watching Jack fucking absolutely decimate a revenant in 2 swipes of his sword.
118
Just-
health he had at the
It
start.
took
of
me
the game.
back, guys. It took me
He's
back.
resistant to. He's immune to necrotic and poison. Resistance to force and force cold and
Ooh,
and
everything
psychic.
that I can do, basically.
Yeah, so force cold and psychic. He was vulnerable to fire and radiant.
Iron.
And yeah, I knew obviously you ever give anything vulnerable to radiance, the paladin's going to go up a little bit, but nobody was expecting 5 hit die and 118 damage in 2 swings.
No,
That was just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Mark, your MVP.
I just loved when we called to stop the horse the first time, and Pietro is the one who calls up to him and was like, hey, just halt the cart. And then the next time we come up to something again, Pietro is just the one to call the halt of he is just now the person
Rolling
in
his
charge
eyes.
of whether we are going or not.
Not the
And,
person
he's
who's
just
sitting on the top, the person who's inside the carriage looking out the window going, you can stop here, driver.
I think Pietro figures that Vel'zekiss could give a shit less about some random dude on the side of the road. He'd be more inclined
Yeah.
to just teleport him out of the way than actually help him.
100%. Yeah, I also obviously we must hand out. Jack, you've got to spend some of these D4s, man. A D4 for Tiddalik, because that guy was beautiful. And Joe, also the hoarder of cards. I have already given you your inspiration. I've just noticed. I gave you a D8 for what might be the best D&D turn that did no damage I've ever seen, because you took 2 people out of a grapple, out of a suffocate, removed his ability to legendary action them, put them in a place they couldn't be targeted, and teleported yourself away and walked off for a 2nd level spell slot and 3 sorcery points.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just like, what the actual fuck? This has taken a turn. But there was one little tinge of it that made it really amusing, was that you saved the life of these 2 people, got away, and left a paralyzed Pietro to face down
Yeah,
a
but,
which is real great. Can Vortex target more people if you upcast it?
No.
Oh.
So it gets bigger range if you upcast it, not more people.
Good.
So it's only by twinning it that I can do 2 people.
Good, because otherwise you could twin a 3rd level and teleport 4 people, and I'm having none of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I look forward to upcasting it, and I have distance spell. So I look forward to using it to send somebody a mile.
So that was incredible, and obviously, Jack, your kill, for which it was the turning of the light to red as you put your hit die into the blow. Josh played a paladin in Sagravi, the last bastion, whose all his magic was dark red in color. Because it was a sort of shared bond between this group and the Dawn God, whose colors were red and gold, but also that to me there was always that symbolism of that sort of shared blood, that shared covenant, and this was your blood seeping into your magic, and that was really beautiful. I really wish this was the same character that got bit by Amanda, but either way, yeah, it's stunning. I absolutely loved it, and yeah, it was just what a great combat, guys. You turned it into something really exciting and special, so thank you very much. But that is where we're going to end, so if you guys would like to say goodbye,
Goodbye.
Bye.
we shall see you soon.